LoreWarrior Aerotech, HSCL-1-0 Huscarl. Overview. One of Anastasius Focht's last actions before he retired as the Presenter Marshal of Comstar was to authorise the development of an Omni-fighter for use by the Comguard. The original intention was for the design to be used by Comstar and the SLDF. In 3064, however, budgetary constraints imposed by the Fedcom Civil War prompted the SLDF to withdraw from the programme. This left Comstar shouldering the entire cost of the project until elected Prince Regent Mansdottir volunteered the FRR's support, continuing the partnership that he started with the Beowulf. Capabilities. The Huscarl boasts a compact power plant that occupies only a 15th of the aircraft's mass, resulting in a ponderous but well-armed and armoured design. Some pilots have likened the craft to a flying whale, but others love the massive weapon arrays, particularly when facing things like dropships and warships. In addition to its omnipods, the Huscarl has more than a dozen underwing pylons for external ordnance. A full bomb load, however, renders it largely unflyable. Deployment. Officially, the Huscarl was to be shared 50-50 by the Comguard and the Kungsarmy, but Presenter Marshal Pro Tem Gavin Dowes halted deployment within the Comguard for the duration of the Fedcom Civil War. However, to prevent the aircraft falling into the hands of undesirable elements, presumably Victor Steiner Davian and his supporters, and as a result of this, most Huscarls serve with the Kungsarmy, only a handful appear in Comstar's Tukid-based 278th Division, also known as the Khan Killers. Man, they hate Ricardo Montalban, don't they? Anyway, the Huscarl is a 75-ton craft. Its frame is the Tuk-Tech H frame. Make of that what you will. Power plant is a 225 Fusion XL. Its armour is the Orestes Cold Forge. 43 tons of pod space here. It's manufactured by Janacek Industries on Orestes. Its communication system is the JTalk 73. Its targeting and tracking is the Nor Block 3. Its safe thrust is 5, its max thrust is 8, and it has 14 double heatsinks by default. Primary configuration is an LRM-10 in the nose with 24 shots, an ER large and an LB-10 in the right wing with 20 shots for the LB-10, and the same again in the left wing with 20 shots. So pretty straightforward, no fuss, a lot of missiles and pair of lasers just to back it up. Not the most dynamic, but hits all the right marks, doesn't it? It works as a ranged attacker. The A configuration is a little bit more spicy. It's a Gauss rifle in the nose with 16 rounds of ammo, backed by an SRM-4 with 24 rounds of ammo. Then it has an ERPPC and 2 medium pulsers in the right wing, and the same again in the left wing. So here we have a craft that has an emphasis on strafing attacks probably, or going head-on with heavier craft, as it mentions, maybe Aerodyne dropships, spheroid dropships to counter invasion, or even attacking warships. A Gauss rifle and a pair of ERPPCs is quite a lot of power, and then short range, you've got your SRM-4 and your pulse lasers, a quartet of pulse lasers, to do some focused damage as they strafe past. Quite a nasty loadout on that one. The B configuration is a pair of SRM-6 in the nose with 30 rounds of ammo split between them, and an AC-5 with 20 rounds of ammo. Then each wing has a single LRM-20 with Artemis, and each wing has 12 rounds of ammunition each. So this one is interesting. So this is a bit more of I would say is more of an emphasis on a fire support model, I guess. The B configuration, I guess, is what you're going to take when it's being escorted by fighters to protect it while it's targeting, I guess, large ships or just banks of ground forces that it can launch its rather impressive complement of LRMs. You imagine a wing of these things, like all firing their LRM-20s at the same time across multiple targets, or even the same target, and it's going to burn down fairly quickly. And then finally we have the C configuration, which is a pair of pulse lasers in the nose, backed by, and this is one in each wing, an Ultra AC-20 each with 20 rounds of fire. This is the executioner of the battlefield in aerial form. This thing doing a single strafing run, double tapping those babies, it is a phenomenal potential amount of damage. Definitely the kind of craft that would also sink a ship very, very quickly. The C configuration is probably the one I'd run with just because it's so goddamn silly. If you hit, it's dead. It doesn't matter what it is, it's dead. I think the art is quite nice for it as well. I do like the sort of chin-mounted LRM there that you can see firing, and it's got its lasers going. Yeah, it's pretty cool. 2 massive engines at the back. It looks like it also has like a kind of generous amount of space in the kind of neck section of the craft. It always looks like the pilot could probably get up and walk around in the back there, maybe necessary for being able to set stuff up for mission profiles. It looks like a much larger craft than other fighters, which would probably fit with the profile of it being something like a like a fighter bomber type setup, or a heavy bomber. So yeah, it's a nasty craft as far as its loadout is concerned. The first one is a little bit ho hum, but then you get the other builds, and the potential starts to ramp up there. Yeah, that thing is a killer. Yeah, that's the Huscarl. It's just a pity that the write-ups for some of these are just so short that there's very little kind of character being built around these things. They're just, when you get the impression that it got to the bit where the writers were just kind of like, whatever, just sort of leave it there, because the Troika was the last one that had something that felt like a bit more of a proper write-up with variants and a longer set of write-up for the overview and stuff. And then, the same with the Oni. But as soon as we get to the Omni fighters, because of space, literal space on the 2 pages that they can assign for each vehicle, you have to do a much smaller write-up so you can fit all of the different configuration stats in there. And I think that's a shame, to be honest. Because a lot of the time it's this stuff that sells you initially on the craft or the mech or the tank. If you don't have that, then you're less likely to, say, buy the miniature. Or miniatures, if you want to run some of them from your own battlefields type thing. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But overall, yeah, I like the Huscarl. It's cool. At least it's got a little bit of story in there you can use it for. So, yeah, it's fun. But I've rambled on enough. So I will catch you on the next one. Have a good week, all. Thanks for listening, as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.